Hey everyone, today I have a lower body HIIT workout for you. We're going to use an interval structure of 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. You have 5 exercises. Of those 5 exercises, 3 isolate the same leg. So we're going to go through those 5 exercises 4 times. The first time you go through them, all the middle 3 exercises will be on your left leg. Second time, they'll all be on your right leg, and then we'll alternate again. For equipment, you are going to need a stepper or a step bench. I'm just using a small cube stepper. I'll link to the one I have below. The more risers you have and the higher it is, the harder these exercises will be. If you want to make them a little less intense, just use fewer risers. The exception to that is the first exercise. If your stepper is too low, it's actually going to make it harder, so just keep that in mind. You're also going to need a single heavy weight. I'm going to use a 20-pound dumbbell. You could also use 2 medium weights, maybe 2 10s. If you want to do modified versions of these exercises, don't use any weights, just do body weight, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the preview. As with all workouts, you want to make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. I'm not going to play music in the background of this because I want you to be able to listen to whatever songs you like, so you might want to get a playlist queued up. And if you have all that squared away, I'm going to get to a preview of the exercises and then we're going to get going. We're going to start with a weighted squat to sit. So unless you're modifying, I want you to grab that heavy weight. If you're using 2 mediums instead, just rack those 2 medium weights on your shoulders. So this is a squat, but instead of just squatting to a hover, we're going to sit all the way down on that stepper. 30 seconds on the clock. So at the top of this, I want you to squeeze your seat as you drive the hips forward. So when you're standing, you should basically be in a vertical plank. Now, what we tend to do on that is we sort of thrust our hips forward without engaging the core, and then we end up hyperextending through the low back. So I don't want that to happen. So as you stand up, think of squeezing your butt and knitting your ribs together, drawing your core in tight. A few more seconds to go here. All right, we're going to keep the weight for the next exercise unless you're modifying. Now, to mirror me, I want you to put your left foot on the stepper, right foot on the floor. It's an uneven squat pulse, so get low, give me a little pulse, and then step up on that stepper, driving your knee in towards your chest. So the target leg here is going to be your leg on the stepper. That being said, both legs are working, so you'll feel it in both sides. So at the bottom of this, weight is in your heels, the butt and hips slide down and back. Our chest is staying open, so think of rolling your shoulder blades down your back. I don't want you to hunch your shoulders. Make that step up powerful. So drive the knee up, pushing through that stationary leg, shake it out. Okay, so ditch the weight. This next one is we're kind of building off the previous exercise. So it's the same step up, same setup, and now it's a step up and then a hop. So you drive the knee up and then hop. You should get a little bit of air even off that foot that's on the stepper. That being said, keyword there, a little bit of air. You're not going to get too high, but I want both feet to be airborne for a split second there. And it's a soft landing. So when you land out of that, sink right back down into your low squat. Don't land with a locked knee. I don't know about you guys, but this one was the most challenging for me. Try to keep it up. One knee drive, one hop. Make it explosive. 10 seconds to rest. Okay, now we're going to continue isolating that left leg with a pistol squat. So I want your left foot on the stepper. Your right foot is going to dangle off the side. We're going to do a single leg squat, and I want you to bring your right heel to the floor, okay? To make this a little easier, just don't have the stepper as high. Another way to make it easier, bring your right toes to the floor instead of your right heel. That way you don't have to dip quite as low. So button hips down and back. I like to bring my arms forward for balance. Your torso is going to hinge forward, but think long spine so we're not hunching our shoulders. Little tap with that heel and come up. Rest. Okay, shake it out. One more move to go in the circuit. It's going to be up and over. So these are going to be quick goals to get the heart rate up. Both legs will be working. And I want you to bring a hand to the stepper as you go up and over. This is just going to challenge you to really sink low on the legs as you go up and over. It's quick, quick, quick. All right, you're over halfway there. Can you pick up the pace at all? If you need to modify, just slow it down a smidge. Or again, you can use fewer risers. Or if mobility issues are preventing you from touching that stepper, just don't bring your hand all the way down. Okay, rest, shake it out. Now we're going to repeat that. And what we're going to do is just those single leg exercises. We'll switch over to the right leg. But let's start with that squat to sit. Grab that weight. It's racked under your chin or two lighter weights on your shoulders. Modification, do not use the weight. So I want you to sit all the way down in this. So that might make it seem a little easier on the way down because you know that you can kind of rest your butt down on that step, but it should make a smidge more challenging on the way up because you're rising up all the way from a seated position. This is a great functional exercise. This is a movement you do every day in life, getting in and out of seats. Weight is in your heels, core in tight, drive up, squeeze your bum at the top. Rest. Okay, we're going to keep the weight for the next move. Now your right foot is going to be on the stepper, so mirror me. Left foot on the floor. It's that uneven squat pulse to the step up. So get down low, give me a little pulse down and up, and then drive that left knee in towards your chest as you stand up off the right. So anytime you're doing a squat variation, when you have the weight on your front by your chest, you are going to be working your back as well. So it is normal to feel your back during this one. We want to strengthen the back with it, not strain it though. So in order to make sure you're not straining the back, let's make sure our core is in tight. Knit your ribs together, long through the spine, reach your tailbone back. All right, ditch the weight. We're going to kind of build off of that movement. Now we're going to the step up and then adding in that hop, still uneven. Right foot's on the platform, left foot's on the floor. Let's go. Knee drive and hop. So it takes a lot of energy to get airborne when that foot is already elevated. So this needs to be an explosive jump up. You got it. Just over 10 seconds to go. Keep it up. This is a tough one. Last few seconds. Shake it out. Okay, so we're still isolating the right leg. We're going to go into that pistol squat. So it's a single leg squat. You're going to bring that hovering left heel to the floor. And when you bring it to the floor, try to just lightly tap it and then stand back up, okay? So I don't want you to transfer weight into that left side. All of our weight is staying in that right foot, specifically that right heel. Hips slide back, torso hinges forward, keeping a long spine. Now, if things get a little shaky, balance should be a challenge on this one, but you can always modify by just bringing your left foot to the stepper at the top and standing there with both feet for a second. Rest. Okay, we're going to go into those up and overs. I want these to be quick, and I want you to stay low. take off. 30 seconds here. I got good news for you guys. After this exercise, I'm going to give you a full 30 seconds to recover before we go and repeat those 2 sets. Quick. Think about staying light on the feet so you're never pausing in one position too long. You have just over 10 seconds. If you can dial up the speed at all, now's the time. Remember, I'm giving you a full 30 to recover after this. Last few seconds, keep it going until you hear those beeps. Woo, all right, shake it out. So you have a full 30 seconds to recover here. We're going to do that whole thing one more time, and then that'll be your workout. Okay, let's gear up for the second half of this workout. You know what to expect. If you need to tone it down a notch the second half, maybe you remove one of the risers from your stepper or you choose a lighter weight. We're going to start with that squat to sit coming up. So we stand up, squeeze your bum at the top, abs in tight, and sit all the way back down. Now, I know I mentioned taking off one of the risers. That will make the isolated single leg exercises easier. It won't make this one easier. The lower you have to go to sit your bum on that stepper, the harder it will be. So if you did reduce the steppers, maybe you just squat down to a hover and you don't actually sit and then step up. Or stand up, I should say. Last few seconds. Shake it out, 10 seconds here. So keep the weight for the next one. We're going to be isolating our left leg for the next 3 exercises. We have that uneven squat pulse to the step up. So there's no jumping in this one. It's a pulse, and then you step up, driving the right knee in towards your chest, core in tight. When you're in that low uneven squat, your hips are down and back. Weight is in your heels, core is active. And again, it's not that you shouldn't feel this in your back. You should feel your back working here to support the weight we have loaded on the front of our chest, but you shouldn't feel your back straining. If you do, you're not engaging through the core. So think of knitting your ribs together, reach your tailbone long. 10 seconds to rest. We are going to ditch the weight. So now we're taking that same setup and we are adding in a more explosive movement. So it's going to be that step up and then that hop. The hop should be tough, okay? I don't know about you guys, but this is definitely the hardest exercise of the 5 for me. Try to keep it going all 30 seconds. If you need to slow down the pace, that's fine. Maybe you do 2 step-ups, only adding in the hop every 2 reps. That is another option. But I want you to stay active the whole 30 seconds, okay? Let's do it. We have 10 seconds to go. You got this. Ten seconds to rest. All right, we have one more isolating this left leg. It's going to be that pistol squat. So your left foot is on the stepper. Your right leg is going to hover off the side. You're going to bring your right heel to the floor. You are lightly going to tap it. Woo, little wobbly on that one, and back up. If you can, when you come back to the top, I still want that right foot hovering. So that balance is a challenge here. We're really working on stabilization as well as strength. Hips slide back, light tap of that heel, and drive it up. Again, to tone it down a notch, just bring your right toes to the floor instead of the heel. It's a little easier. You don't have to get as low. Ten seconds to rest. Okay, we have those up and overs. So both legs working here. Quick, this is about speed. Get that heart rate up. And you're going to bring your hand to lightly tap the top of the stepper. That is just to make sure that we are getting low through the lower body, okay? So hips down and back. Try not to hang out too long in any one position. So think light feet. Up and over, up and over. Quick, quick. You have 10 seconds to go. So if you are feeling comfortable where you are, could you pick up the pace just a smidge? Rest. Okay, last time through this circuit. When we do the single leg moves, we'll be isolating the right leg. We're going to start with that squat to sit. So grab your heavy weight if you are using it. Rack it at your chest, or if you're using 2 weights at your shoulders, let's stand up, squeeze your bum at the top, sit all the way down. As you sit down, weight is in your heels. Notice as I sit, my knees are not jutting out farther than my toes, okay? If your knees are going out farther than your toes, you need to think of sending your butt back first, okay? So the hip hinge starts the movement, not the bending of your knees. Hips go back, that causes knees to bend, and leaning forward with your torso is going to help you get low without those knees jutting forward.
10 seconds to rest. Okay, we'll be isolating the right leg for the next 3 movements. Keep that weight if you can. Uneven squat, pulse at the bottom, step up on that riser, driving your left knee into your chest. So I really want you low in that uneven squat. Just make sure that you're not just bending through the right knee, okay? Your left knee should be bent too. I know it's lower. It won't be as deeply bent as the right, but there still should be some softness in it. If your left leg is totally straight when you do that squat pulse at the bottom, guess what? You're not low enough. All right, we're going to ditch the weight. We don't need it for the rest of this workout. We're building on that previous move. So step up, then uneven hop. This is an explosive one, okay? Empty the tank as far as effort goes, okay? Yes, we do have 2 more intervals of work after this one, but I want you to treat this like it's your last one, okay? Hop, get a little bit of air, drive that knee up. You can do this. You're already approaching that halfway mark. You got this. 15 seconds is nothing. You can do anything for 15 seconds. There's a difference between wanting to stop and needing to stop, okay? Kind of push that threshold. Rest. Okay, pistol squat coming up. Right foot to the stepper, left leg will hang off the edge. You're bringing your left heel to lightly tap the floor. So ways to tone this one down, like we talked about, tap with your left toes instead of your left heel. Or just use fewer risers so that it's not quite as high and you don't have to dip as low. Last few seconds here, try to get in at least 1 more quality rep. Rest. Okay, we're coming into our final 30-second push up and overs to finish up this workout, everything you got. 30 seconds on the clock and take off. Up and over. Quick feet, staying low through that lower body, bringing your hands to lightly tap the top of that stepper if mobility allows. 10 seconds down. 20 to go, less than that now. Final 10 seconds. Could you dial up the speed just a little bit? We're almost there, right to the end. Woo, awesome work. That is your lower body HIIT workout.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will see you back here next Monday with another workout.